class, I had started off with the chapter The Tiger King, and I had summarized the same with you. Today, I'm going to start the same chapter along with NCERT. So, when we are doing with the NCERT, definitely there would be certain phrases or maybe certain passages which may be important from the viewpoint of exam. We need to be very specific about the same, right? So, I'm starting the same. From the very first, normally we get the question that what were his different names. Well, it has come once or twice. The Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram is the hero of this story. He may be identified. So these are the names that were there for him. He was called as Highness Jamedar General, Khiledar Major, Satavyagra Samhari, Maharaja Dharaj, Viswa Bhuvana, Jilani Jang Bahadur, MAD, ACTC, CRCK. But all these names were nicked to Tiger King. So when the question comes ki how did he acquire, as it is written, you can see that how did he acquire this name. So first of all, you need to give this कि उसका जो नाम था वो मतलब he had. Maybe you may not be able to learn all of them. So learn two or three. Like I always tell my students that Jilani Jang Bahadur, Highness Jamedar General, ये हम याद कर सकते हैं. So two or three we can learn. And then we have to tell that how did he actually acquire his nickname, that is Tiger King. I have come forward to tell you why he came to be known as Tiger King. I have now, if you see this chapter, as a chapter is also said to be a satire. मतलब ये जो है, it is a satire on the human behavior. So you will be finding many humorous or satirical comments in this. मतलब कहीं कहीं व्यंग्य कसरा होगा, कहीं कहीं हमें हंसी सी आ जाए. I have come forward to tell, sorry, I have no intention of pretending to advance only to end in a strategical withdrawal. ये जो अब लिखा है, this is the one which has come in the exam. Even the threat of a तुक्का bomber will not throw me off track. मतलब अगर कोई मुझ पर ये भी बोलेगा ना कि भाई तुम्हारे ऊपर मैं बॉम्ब फेंकने वाला हूं, तो भी मैं जो हूं ये कहानी पूरी करके ही रहूंगा. This means he is very determined. He is determined to recite the story, but this word he has written in a very humorous way. The Stuka, if it likes, can beat a hasty retreat from my story. Right at the start, it is imperative to disclose a matter. Imperative मतलब it is of high importance. It is of high importance. बहुत जरूरी है कि हम आपको एक बात बता दें, which is very important regarding the Tiger King. Everyone who reads of him will experience a natural desire to meet a man of his indomitable courage face to face. मतलब यहाँ पर उसके कहने का मतलब है everyone who reads, मतलब ऐसे इंसान को तो man of indomitable courage is here again a sarcasm. Actually it is a sarcasm. It's not his, उसकी तारीफ नहीं है. एक तरफ से उसका करा जा रहा है कि ऐसे भाई महान इंसान से तो हर एक इंसान मिलना चाहेगा. So this is actually a sarcastic comment, but there is no chance of its fulfillment. मतलब क्यों नहीं हम मिल सकते हैं? Because he is no more. As Bharata said to Ram about Dasharatha, the Tiger King has reached the final abode of all living creatures, means he is dead. The manner of his death is a matter of extraordinary interest. It can be revealed only at the end of the tale. The most fantastic aspect of his demise was that as soon as he was born, astrologers had foretold that one day he would actually have to die. मतलब again this is a sarcasm. Why? Because it is very natural कि जो इस धरती पर आएगा उसको तो मरना ही है. The child will grow up to become the warrior of warriors, hero of heroes, champion of champions. But मतलब जब वो पैदा हुआ, astrologers were called and they were supposed to prepare the horoscope as it is done in the Indian ritual. तो उन्होंने कहा कि ये बहुत महान होगा, बहुत मतलब कि he would be brave. लेकिन जैसे उन्होंने लेकिन बोला, they just stopped. When compelled to continue, the astrologers came out with this is a secret which should not be revealed at all, and we are forced to speak out. The child born under this star will one day have to meet its death. This star may, I don't know how much people know about the stars. Normally in South India and all, what happens is when a child is born, even it is there everywhere, when a child is born, his star, that is that particular day जो आपका star उस दिन को dominate करता है, that becomes the star of that child. तो वो कहता है कि जिस स्टार पे ये पैदा हुआ है, दैट उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही वुड डाई. अब आपके पेपर में ये क्वेश्चन आता है, व्हाट वाज द मिरेकल, या फिर एवरीबडी स्टूड ट्रांसफिक्स्ड इन स्टुपेफैक्शन. व्हाई? दोनों का आंसर सेम है. At that very moment, a great miracle took place. An astonishing phrase emerged from the lips of 10-day-old Jilani Jung Jung Bahadur, O wise prophets. और वो 10 दिन का बच्चा बोल पड़ा. Everybody stood transfixed in stupefaction. मतलब everybody was astonished, surprised. एकदम से they were amazed. They looked vividly at each other and blinked. एक दूसरे को देखकर वो पलके झपका रहे थे. That much मतलब कि इतना सरप्राइज था. Oh wise prophets, it was I who spoke. This time there were no grounds for doubt. It was an infant born just 10 days ago who had enunciated the words so clearly. Enunciate मतलब pronounce. इतने साफ सुथरे तरीके से 10 दिन का बच्चा बोल पड़ा. एंड दैट इज एक्चुअली अ मिरेकल. The chief astrologer took off his specs and gazed intently at the baby. Intently मतलब बहुत deeply. All those who are born will one day have to die. We don't need your predictions to know that. There would be some sense if you could tell us the manner of the death. The royal infant uttered these words in his little squeaky voice. मतलब बच्चे की वॉइस तो थोड़ी खिंची वो होती है ना, तीखी सी. तो वो कहता है कि ये तो सबको पता है, 10 दिन मतलब जो जो इस धरती पे आएगा वो मरेगा. ये बताओ कि कैसे होगी डेथ. द chief astrologer placed his finger on his nose in wonder. A baby barely 10 days old opens its lips in speech. Not only that, it also raises intelligent questions. Incredible. अब उसने कहा एक तो 10 दिन का बच्चा बोला, ऊपर से वो हमसे क्वेश्चंस कर रहा है. raises intelligent मतलब it is having so much of curiosity. ये तो वॉर में जो हमें अच्छे अच्छे से मतलब कि न्यूज आता उससे भी बड़ा है. Then he took off his finger off his nose and fixed his eyes upon the little prince. The prince was born in the hour of bull. The bull and tigers are enemies, therefore death comes from the tiger. अब उसने समझाया कि टाइगर जिस घंटे में इसकी डेथ मतलब इसकी पैदा हुआ है, वो जो है मतलब एज पर द एस्ट्रोलॉजी बुल एरीज उसको बिलोंग करता है. एंड उसके अकॉर्डिंग टाइगर्स उसके एनिमी है, तो इसकी डेथ टाइगर से हो सकती है. You may think that Crown Prince Jung Jung Bahadur was thrown into a quake. आपको लग रहा होगा वो तो डर गया होगा. Thrown into a quake मतलब he might have been scared to death. वो तो डर गया होगा, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हुआ. That was exactly what did not happen. As soon as he heard it pronounced, The crown prince gave a deep growl. मतलब वो गुस्सा हुआ. Terrifying words emerged from his lips. Let tigers beware. और उसके बाद उसने कहा अब तो टाइगर्स को ही मेरे से बचकर रहना पड़ेगा. This account is only a rumor rife in Pratibandhapuram, but with hindsight, we may conclude it was based on some truth. हालांकि ऐसा हो नहीं सकता है. This is not possible that a 10-day-old child speaks, but yet there was something जो आगे हमें पता लगता है कि from the day one the child was prepared. Crown Prince Jangjang Bahadur grew taller and stronger day by day. No other miracle marked his childhood days apart from all the event already described. The boy drank the milk of an English cow. This ये जो English करके the repetition है, this is to show the influence of English on him. And here it is not only for the English as a language, but as a human. Englishman, the British, means he was more influenced towards a Western culture. He was not that much believing in astrology and all. ये यहाँ पर this is the comment he wants to tell. He was brought up by an English nanny, tutored in English by an Englishman, saw nothing but English films. Exactly as the crown princes of all other Indian states did. This also means, what does it mean? और मतलब कि पेपर के अंदर आ सकता है कि जो क्राउन प्रिंसेस थे, प्रिंस होते थे, they were just puppets. मतलब वो ब्रिटिश के puppets थे जो कि influenced थे by the English culture. When he came of age at 20, the state which had been with the coat of Watts until then came into his hands. वो 20 साल का था when he ascended over the throne. But everyone in the state remembered the astrologer's prediction. Many continued to discuss the matter and it came to Maharaja's eyes. भाई ये तो पहले से ही पता था कि जिस दिन वो बड़ा हो जाएगा, when he becomes a crown princess, he may be. There were innumerable forests in Pratibandhapuram state. मतलब ये उस वक्त की बात है when forest coverage was very good in India. They had tigers in them. The Maharaja knew the old saying, you may even kill a cow in self-defense. ये एक कहावत होती है जिसमें कहा जाता है कि नॉर्मली हमें किसी को मारना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन अगर हमें खुद को बचाना है, इफ देयर इज अ थ्रेट टू आवर लाइफ, देन इफ वी किल समवन इट इज नॉट कॉल्ड एज अ क्राइम. तो ये वो चीज है. देयर कुड बी सर्टेनली बी नो ऑब्जेक्शन टू किलिंग टाइगर्स इन सेल्फ डिफेंस. सो द महाराजा सेट आउट ऑन द टाइगर हंट. The Maharaja was thrilled beyond measure. Thrilled beyond measure मतलब extremely happy. He was extremely happy. When he killed the first tiger, he sent for the state astrologer and showed him the dead beast. अब बोलो, उसने कहा your majesty may kill 99 tigers in exactly the same manner, but उसने कहा सर बहुत अच्छी बात है आपने मारा और आप शायद ऐसे 99 मारोगे, बट यू मस्ट बी वेरी केयरफुल विद द 100 टाइगर. तो उसने कहा व्हाट इफ द 100th टाइगर वर आल्सो किल्ड, then I will tear up all my books on astrology, set fire, and I shall cut my tuft, crop my hair short, and become an insurance agent, he said in an incoherent note. इनकोहरेंट मतलब रुक रुक के. उसने कहा ठीक है, फिर मैं अपनी सारे शस्त्र के जो अस्त्र जो हमारे मेरे पास शास्त्र के बुक्स हैं उन सबको जलाकर, कट ऑफ माय टफ मतलब जो आपकी चोटी होती है पंडितों की उसको काट लूंगा, और मैं लोगों को प्रेडिक्शन करने के बजाय उन्हें बचाने के लिए इंश्योरेंस एजेंट बन जाऊंगा. दैट्स अगेन अ ह्यूमर. फ्रॉम दैट डे it was celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pratibandhapuram. This is an irony and also a contrast. टाइगर्स का कोई सेलिब्रेशन नहीं था. इट वॉज ऑन द अदर हैंड, इट वॉज नाउ द टाइम व्हेन द टाइगर्स हैड टू हाइड. नाउ दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. व्हाट proclamation was made by the state? Proclamation मतलब notice. The state banned tiger hunting by anyone except the Maharaja. A proclamation was issued to the effect that if anyone dared to fling so much as a stone at a tiger, all his wealth and property would be confiscated. मारना तो छोड़ दो, इवन अगर किसी ने पत्थर भी फेंका तो भी उसकी सारी प्रॉपर्टी जब्त कर ली जाएगी. The Maharaja vowed he would attend to all other matters only after killing the 100 tigers. Initially, the king seemed well set to realize his ambition. और उसने कहा कि जब तक मैं 100 टाइगर नहीं मारता, मैं अपने बाकी काम, दैट इज लुकिंग आफ्टर हिज किंगडम, ये सब मैं नहीं करूंगा. Not that he faced no dangers. There were times when the bullet missed its mark, the tiger leapt upon him, and he fought the beast with his bare hands. Each time it was a Maharaja who won. अब वो कहता है कि ऐसा नहीं है कि आसान था, उसके लिए भी उतना ही मुश्किल था. The only thing was he was so courageous that every time he fought he would win. At another time he was in danger of losing his throne. ये जो है मतलब कि क्वेश्चन बहुत बार आया है. How was the Maharaja in danger of losing his throne and how did he retain it? दोनों आपका जो है आया हुआ है. एक बार तो as I told you that it has come as a 10 marker question, and at that at some if you look at other questions it might have been for 2 marks or 3 marks. क्योंकि अब आपके 3 marks है, so you have to write it accordingly. A high-ranking British officer visited Pratibandhapuram. He was very fond of hunting tigers and fonder of being photographed with the tigers he had shot. मतलब एक ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर आया था जिसको टाइगर हंटिंग भी पसंद था और उसके साथ फोटो खिंचवाना भी. So he wished to hunt tigers in Pratibandhapuram, but the Maharaja was firm in his resolve. उसको तो अपने टाइगर्स जो है उन्हें मारना था, इसीलिए उसने मना कर दिया. I can organize any other hunt. उसने बोला कि मैं और भी आप और कोई शिकार बोलो. You may go on a boar. Boar मतलब आपका pig. You may conduct a mouse hunt. अब आपको देख लो कितना ह्यूमरस है. भाई तुम सुअर मारो, चूहा मारो, मॉस्किटो भी मारो, लेकिन टाइगर नहीं मार सकते. ऐसा उसने बोला नहीं था. This is only that the Maharaja had refused. He had the audacity to refuse a British officer. The British officer secretary sent word to the Maharaja through the Diwan that the Durai himself did not have to kill. The Maharaja could do the actual killing. What was important to the Durai? Durai here is the British officer. Was a photograph of himself holding the gun and standing over tiger's carcass. उसने कहा ठीक है, मुझे मारना नहीं है, महाराजा मारे, मुझे तो सिर्फ उसकी एक डेड बॉडी, कैरकास मतलब डेड बॉडी के साथ फोटो खिंचवाना. But the Maharaja would not agree even to this proposal. If he relented now, what would he do if other Britisher officers turned up for tiger hunts? अगर वो अब मान गया, relented मतलब if he agrees now, तो हो सकता है दूसरे लोग भी आ जाए. Because he prevented a British officer from fulfilling his desire, the Maharaja stood in danger of losing his kingdom. Is the answer. So now how did he retain it? The Maharaja and Diwan held deliberations over this issue. मतलब उन्होंने बातचीत की. As a result, a telegram was dispatched forthwith to a famous British company of jewelers in Calcutta. Send samples of expensive diamond rings of different designs. Some 50 rings arrived. The Maharaja sent the whole lot to British officers, good lady. मतलब उसकी wife. British officers, good lady मतलब उसकी wife. The Maharaja and the minister expected the Durai Sani to choose one or two rings and send the rest back. उन्हें लगा मैडम एक या दो रिंग रखेंगी बाकी दे देंगी. Within no time, all the Durai Sani sent her reply, thank you very much for your gifts. In 2 days, a bill for 3 lakh rupees came from the British jewelers. The Maharaja was happy that though he had lost 3 lakh, he had managed to retain his king. बच्चे इस क्लास में इस वाले में ये वाला सेम जो है, the entire passage has come and it has also come in the direct way that how did he retain his kingdom. So he retained his kingdom by presenting some diamond rings of some 3 lakh rupees, but this money actually was from his revenue, from the state revenue, not his own pocket. The Maharaja's tiger hunts continued to be highly successful. Within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers. And then an unforeseen hurdle brought his mission to a standstill. मतलब यहाँ पर what is this meaning कि unforeseen मतलब something which he had not expected. The tiger population became extinct in the forest of Pratibandhapuram. Who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control or committed harakiri or simply ran away from the state because they desired to be shot by British hands alone. Now you can see how मतलब कि कितना ज्यादा व्यंग्य कसा उसमें. वो कहता है कि शायद उन लोगों ने बर्थ कंट्रोल कर दिया था ताकि बच्चे आगे ना पैदा हो, या फिर आगे वो कुछ भी उसका नाम क्या बच्चे पैदा ही नहीं करना चाहते, या फिर सारे टाइगर्स वहां से भाग गए क्योंकि उन्हें इंडियन के हाथ से नहीं ब्रिटिश के हाथ से मरने का फाक्षा. In the reality, the population which was there in Pratibandhapuram was finished of tigers. One day, the Maharaja sent for the Diwan. Aren't you aware of the tigers that 30 tigers still remain to be shot by the gun of mine? उसने अपने गन को साफ करते हुए उसकी तरफ रखते हुए जो है वो पूछ रहा था. Shuddering at the sight of the gun, दीवान बोला, योर मेजेस्टी आई एम नॉट अ टाइगर. मतलब वो ऐसे करके साफ कर रहा था तो उसकी जो नोक थी वो दीवान की तरफ थी. तो दीवान बोला लेकिन मैं तो टाइगर नहीं हूं ना. तो उसने कहा विच इडियट वुड कॉल यू अ टाइगर. नो एंड आई एम नॉट अ गन. उसने कहा यू आर नीदर टाइगर नॉर गन. आई समॉन यू हियर फॉर अ डिफरेंट पर्पस. आई हैव डिसाइडेड टू गेट मैरिड. उसने कहा मैंने तुम्हारे कोई ना तो यहाँ पर ना तो तुम टाइगर हो ना गन हो. मैंने तो यहाँ पर तुम्हें इसलिए बुला भेजा कि मुझे शादी करनी. The divan began to babble. मतलब वो मतलब कि वो और जोर जोर से babble करने लगा, मटर करने लगा. सर मेरी तो सर ऑलरेडी 2 वाइफ्स हैं, मैं आपसे कैसे मैरी कर सकता. डोंट टॉक नॉनसेंस. व्हाई शुड आई मैरी यू. व्हाट आई वांट इज अ टाइगर. उसने कहा मैं तुमसे शादी क्यों करूंगा, मुझे तो टाइगर चाहिए. Your Majesty, please think it over. Your ancestors were married to the sword. If you like, marry the gun. A tiger king is more than enough for the state. It doesn't need a tiger queen as well. उसने कहा सर आपके पूर्वज जो है उन्होंने मतलब कि रानी बनाया था स्वॉर्ड को. आप गन को बना लो. आप टाइगर से शादी क्यों करना चाहते. The Maharaja gave a loud crack of laughter. I'm not thinking of marrying either a tiger or a gun, but a girl from the ranks of human beings. भाई मुझे किसी टाइगर वाइगर से शादी नहीं करनी है, मुझे इंसान से ही करनी है. First, you may draw up statistics of tiger populations in different native states. Next, you may investigate if there is a girl I can marry in the royal family of a state with large tiger population. मतलब उसने 2 शर्त रखी. एक तो वो लड़की रॉयल से ही होनी चाहिए, दूसरा उसके स्टेट में टाइगर्स होने चाहिए. The Diwan followed his orders. He found the right girl from a state which possessed a number of tigers. Maharaja Jang Bahadur killed 5 or 6 tigers each time when he visited his father-in-law. In this manner, 99 tiger skins adorned the walls of reception hall in the प्रतिबंधपुरम पैलेस। और इस तरीके से उसके पैलेस में 99 टाइगर्स के जो स्किन थे वो adorn मतलब सज गए, डेकोरेट हो गए। That means he had killed 99 tigers. The Maharaja's anxiety reached a fever pitch when there remained just one tiger to achieve his tally of 100. क्योंकि according to the astrologer, it was the 100th tiger which was supposed to decide his fate. He had this one thought during the day and same dream at night. मतलब दिन रात उसको ये चीज परेशान कर रही थी। By this time, the tiger farms had run dry even in his father-in-law's kingdom. It became impossible to locate tigers anywhere. Yet only one more was indeed needed if he could kill just one single beast. The Maharaja would have no fears left. He could give up tiger hunting altogether. अब उसके जो फादर इन लॉ थे जिनके यहाँ पर जाकर वो 5-6 टाइगर्स मार देता था, वहां पे भी टाइगर पॉपुलेशन खत्म। क्या किया जाए? बस उसको एक ही बात थी कि एक टाइगर मुझे मिल जाए, उसके बाद मैं टाइगर हंटिंग छोड़ दूंगा। बट he had to be extremely careful with that last tiger. What had the late chief astrologer said? अब 10 साल हो चुके थे और वो जो एस्ट्रोलॉजर थे उनकी डेथ हो चुकी थी। Even after 99 tigers, the Maharaja should beware of the 100. True, the tiger was a savage beast, भाई है तो वो wild beast ही ना। One had to be wary of it, मतलब बच के रहना पड़ेगा। wary of मतलब one has to be very preventive, आपको prevention रखना पड़ेगा, उसे बचना पड़ेगा। But where was that 100 tiger to be found? It seemed easier to find tiger's milk than a live tiger. भाई टाइगर का दूध तो मिल रहा है लेकिन टाइगर नहीं है। Thus, the Maharaja was sunk in gloom. This came in the exam once. Why was the Maharaja sunk in gloom? वो दुखी क्यों हो गया था? क्योंकि वो जो 100th tiger, which was supposed to decide his fate, was nowhere to be found. But soon came the happy news which dispelled that gloom. Dispelled मतलब उस दुख को हटा दिया। In his own state, sheep began to disappear frequently from a hillside village. मतलब उसके ही स्टेट में एक विलेज के अंदर जो भेड़िए थे वो गायब हो रहे थे। It was first ascertained that this was not the work of Khadar Mian Saab or Veerasamy Nayakkar, both famed for their ability to swallow sheep whole. मतलब ये दोनों भेड़ चोर थे। Surely a tiger was at work. The villagers ran to inform the Maharaja. The Maharaja announced a 3-year exemption from all taxes for that village and set out on the hunt at once. जैसे उन्होंने खुशखबरी दी कि भाई उस जगह पर टाइगर है, उसने कहा इस गांव के 3 साल के लिए कोई मतलब ये लोग कोई टैक्स नहीं देंगे। The tiger was not easily found. It seemed as if it had wantonly मतलब intentionally, जानबूझकर hid itself in order to flout the Maharaja's will. उनको जो है चकमा देना था। The Maharaja was equally determined. He refused to leave the forest until the tiger was found. As the days passed, the Maharaja's fury and obstinacy, मतलब उनकी जिद और उनका गुस्सा, mounted alarmingly. Many officers lost their jobs. और वो इतने गुस्से में था, वो इतना adamant था कि अपने गुस्से में उसने कई ऑफिसर्स की नौकरी भी निकाल दी। One day, when his rage was at its height, the Maharaja called the Diwan and ordered him to double the land tax. उन्होंने कहा इन लोगों ने झूठ बोला था ना, तो इनका जो अभी तो 3 साल का एग्जेम्पशन दिया था, अब इनको डबल देना पड़ेगा। The people will be discontented, then our state too will fall a prey to Indian National Congress. मतलब यहाँ पर जो है ना बच्चा, this is actually a what you call as a sarcastic comment. INC तो इंडियन था, लेकिन यहाँ कहा जा रहा है कि भाई हमारे जो प्रिंसली स्टेट के राजा थे उन लोगों को तो ब्रिटिश के नीचे रहना ज्यादा पसंद था। In case you may resign from your post. उसने कहा ठीक है, अगर मेरा राज्य छिन जाएगा तो तुम्हें सबसे पहले नौकरी छोड़नी पड़ेगी. The Diwan went home, convinced if the Maharaja did not find the tiger soon, the results could be catastrophic. Catastrophic matlab very destructive. He felt life returning to him only when he saw the tiger which he had brought from People's Park in Madras and kept hidden in his house. आपके पेपर के अंदर क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है that how did Diwan arrange and what kind of tiger was it? He had arranged it from the People's Park in Madras and he had hid it in his house. At midnight, when the town slept in peace, the Diwan and his aged wife dragged the tiger to the car and shoved it to the seat. उसको खींच कर लेकर गए. The Diwan himself drove the car straight to the forest where Maharaja was hunting. When they reached the forest, the tiger launched its satyagraha and refused to get out of the car. The Devan was thoroughly exhausted in his efforts to haul the beast out of the car and pushed it down to ground. अब उसके अंदर इतनी जान नहीं थी कि वो उसको खींच कर जो है कार से बाहर निकालेगा. उसने उसको धक्का दे दिया. On the following day, the same old tiger wandered into Maharaja's presence and stood as if in humble supplication. Master, what do you command of me? मतलब वो जो टाइगर था उसकी नजर महाराजा पर, महाराजा की जो नजर है उस टाइगर पे पड़ गई. ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे वो टाइगर जो है खुद बोल रहा था कि बताइए सर मैं आपके लिए क्या कर सकता. It was with boundless joy Maharaja took careful aim at the beast. The tiger fell in a crumpled heap. उसने बड़े ध्यान से उस पर जो है गोली दागी और टाइगर ढेर. I have killed 100 tiger. My vow has been fulfilled. The Maharaja was overcome with elation. मतलब he was on his seventh yonder. इतना खुश था. फिर उसने अपने मतलब कि courtiers को बोला, ordering the tigers to be brought to the capital in grand possession. The Maharaja hastened away in his car. उसने कहा इसको एक बड़े जलस मतलब जुलूस निकाल के लाओ. After the Maharaja left, the tigers went to take a closer look at the hunters went to take a closer look at the tiger. The tiger looked back at them, rolling its eyes in bafflement. मतलब उसने आंखें खोली और अपना आंखें घुमा घुमा के वो बहुत ही पजल वे में, baffled मतलब puzzled, confused. The men realized the tiger was not dead. The bullet had missed it. It had fainted from the shock of the bullet whizzing past. The hunters wondered what they should do. They decided the Maharaja must not come to know he had missed his target. If he did, he could lose his job. They could lose his job. अब उसको उनको लगा कि भाई अगर महाराजा को पता लगा कि उसने जो टाइगर मारा था वो मरा नहीं तो वो हमारी नौकरी निकाल देगा. One of the hunters took aim from a distance of 1 foot and shot the tiger. This time he killed it without missing his mark. और उन्होंने उसे मार दिया. This is how the people who work, they become puppets in the hands of their employers. Then, as commanded by the king, the dead tiger was taken in procession through the town and buried. A tomb was erected over it. उसको उसी तरीके से जैसे राजा ने बोला था वैसे ही लाए, उसके लिए एक टॉम्ब भी बना दिया. बट एक्चुअली द 100 टाइगर was not killed by the Maharaja. A few days later, the Maharaja's son's third birthday was celebrated. Until then, the Maharaja had given his entire mind over to tiger hunting. He had no time to spare for the crown prince. अब तक वो सिर्फ टाइगर हंटिंग पर था, उसके पास अपने बेटे के लिए भी टाइम नहीं था. But now the king turned his attention to the child. He wished to give him some special gift on his birthday. He went to the shopping center in Pratibandhapuram and searched every shop, but couldn't find anything suitable. अब वो उसके लिए बहुत बढ़िया प्रेजेंट लाना चाहता था. उसने दुकानों में ढूंढा. Finally, he spotted a wooden tiger in a toy shop and decided it was a perfect gift. अब पिछले 10 साल से वो सिर्फ टाइगर्स को मार रहा था. उसके दिमाग में सिर्फ टाइगर था, तो उसको पसंद भी एक वुडन टाइगर ही आया. द वुडन टाइगर कॉस्ट ओनली 2 आनाज एंड क्वार्टर. बेटा, उस जमाने में एक आना होता था आपका 8 पैसा, नहीं 6 पैसा, आई थिंक समथिंग लाइक दैट, 48. हाँ, तो वो था आपका सिर्फ 15 पैसे का. एक्चुअल में it was only of 15 paisa. But the shopkeeper knew if he quoted such a low price, he would be punished under the rules of emergency. So he said, Your Majesty, this is an extremely rare example of craftsmanship, a bargain at 300 rupees. 15 पैसे की चीज को उसने 300 रुपए का बोला. बट महाराजा कौन सा लेने वाला था पैसा देकर? Very good, let this be your offering to the crown prince on his birthday. And the king took it away. उसको 15 पैसे मिल जाते, लेकिन उसकी लालच की वजह से उसे मुफ्त में देना पड़ा. On that day, the father and son played with the tiny little wooden tiger. It had been carved by an unskilled carpenter. Its surface was rough, tiny slivers of wood stood up like quills all over it. उसे किसी अनस्किल्ड कारपेंटर ने बनाया था. वो ऊपर से पूरा रफ था, उसकी जो बांस थी वो बाहर आ रहे थे. एंड वन ऑफ दो स्लिवर्स, वो जो बांस होती है, pierced the Maharaja's right hand. He pulled it out with his left hand and continued to play with the prince. उसने ऐसे निकाला और वो खेलने लग गया. The next day, infection flared मतलब spread in the Maharaja's right hand. In 4 days, it developed into a separating sore. मतलब कि वो पूरा का पूरा सेप्टिक हो गया पूरे उसके आर्म्स में. 3 famous surgeons were brought in from Madras. After holding a consultation, they decided to operate. The operation took place. Actual में in the next lesson also I'll tell you, there are 2 theories beyond the doctors. एक, जो फ्रेंच के लोग होते हैं उनका मानना होता है सर्जरी मतलब जिस चीज के लिए आपको लेकर आए हैं वो करना. वेरस जो अमेरिकन होते हैं उनका मानना होता है सर्जरी मीन्स अ होलिस्टिक, यानी कि उससे रिलेटेड जो बाकी चीजें उन्हें भी देखना. लेकिन यहाँ पर दे हैव गिवन दिस कमेंट कि उनका काम था सर्जरी करना, तो उन्होंने सिर्फ सर्जरी किया. The 3 surgeons who performed it came out of the theater and announced, the operation was successful, the Maharaja is dead. This is antithesis, or you can say oxymoron. आप इसको oxymoron या antithesis कह सकते हैं. 2 contrast statements. ऑपरेशन सक्सेसफुल रहा मतलब वो जो स्लिवर था वो तो निकाल दिया, लेकिन महाराजा को हम बचा नहीं पाए. In this manner, the 100th tiger took its final revenge upon the Tiger King. This is the question which comes in the exam. How did the 100th tiger took its final revenge? और या फिर ये क्वेश्चन ऐसा आ सकता है कि the 100th tiger was a wooden tiger, Though the 100 tiger was a wooden tiger, yet it took its revenge. Explain. तो आपको इसके अंदर वही बताना है कि आफ्टर किलिंग 99 tigers, मतलब you need to start it from that particular area. The Maharaja was waiting for the 100 tiger, looking at his desperate situation. The Diwan arranged an old and stubborn tiger. Though the Maharaja killed या फिर shot the tiger, but it missed the bullet. It was actually killed by the hunter, which was unknown to the king. Later, when he was playing with a toy tiger, later when he was playing with a wooden tiger, the severe spears causing septic. Though the surgery was performed, but the Maharaja was not, he was not able to be saved. या फिर the doctors could not save the Maharaja. Thus, the Maharaja had been playing with the lives of 99 tigers, real tigers. But the 100 tiger was actually a toy tiger. Yet it was a wooden tiger, but it took its revenge. तो ये ऐसे आपको लिखना होगा. Now if we look into the questions, मतलब जो मैंने आपको बताया है, these are some of the questions which have been there in the exam. The story is a satire on the conceit of those in power. I have already given you a number of examples of the dramatic irony. जैसे वो दीवान कहता है कि भाई अगर हम लोग जो है इस तरीके से करेंगे तो आईएनसी, जबकि इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस उस वक्त का सबसे मजबूत पार्टी था, हु आर फाइटिंग फॉर द फ्रीडम, लेकिन उसको छोड़कर ही वॉज मोर इंटरेस्टेड टूवर्ड्स द ब्रिटिश. देन जो स्टार्टिंग में था कि ही यूज टू ड्रिंक द इंग्लिश काउज मिल्क इंग्लिश, तो वो भी आपका एक सटायर है. देन ही मिस यूज हिज पावर when the British officer came. What is the author's indirect comment on subjecting innocent animals to the willfulness of human beings? The entire chapter is based on that. अगर उसको पता था कि टाइगर उसका दुश्मन है, तो either he should have put some restrictions on the tiger, or he should not have gone for tiger hunting. उसके बदले he was actually killing those tigers जिससे कि वो बच जाए. So that is how it is an indirect comment. How would you describe the behavior of Maharaja's minions? Minions यहाँ पर वैसे चमचों के लिए बोला गया है, the courtiers. ये पेपर में भी आया हुआ क्वेश्चन है. Do you find them really sincere, or they are driven by the fear when they obey? Actually, they are only driven by the fear कि उनकी जॉब चली जाए. And this is the next portion. No, do we need a similarity? Yes, everywhere. सब सिर्फ अपना स्किन बचाते हैं, किसी को दूसरों से कोई परवाह नहीं होती. Can you relate instances of game hunting among the rich and the powerful? There are number of people misuse the law and they go for the game hunting. Though now it is in India, it is banned. We need a new system for the age of ecology, a system which is embedded in the care of all people and in the care of earth and all life upon. Discuss. This is one of the very, very important question I can say. This means कि हमें एक ऐसे अर्थ की जरूरत है जहां हम लोग जो है खुद की तो देखभाल कर रहे हैं, जो हमारा पोयम था कीपिंग क्वाइट, जिसमें ये बोला है कि मैन हैज बिकम सो सेल्फिश दैट he is not able to see the harm that he is doing to himself. It is not threatening the earth, but it is threatening himself. वो यहां पर हमारा exactly fit होता है. Right now we need a system where we are able to understand that harming the animals, harming the earth is nothing but indirectly we are harming ourselves. Therefore, we need a system where we are sustaining each other, where we are not dominating. As humans, we are not dominating, but we are living in partnership. The survival and existence of each and every organism on this earth is very important. ये चीज हम लोगों को समझनी चाहिए. So that is what the questions say, and that is the overall chapter, the Tiger King. Once again, I would just say tell you the crux, that this is about not only the tiger hunting, it is also about how people misuse their powers when they are there in the powerful stature. Then it is also about the way people have disturbed the ecological balance. It is also about how British were very hostile towards the animals, and the Indian prince, the princely rulers, they were a puppet in the hands of these English. Then the story is about a person who is called as Jang Bahadur, but who was nicknamed as Tiger King because he wanted to kill 100 tigers, as an astrologer had given him this prediction that 100th tiger would decide his fate. That means he would die. So for first few years, he spent killing around 70 tigers in his own vicinity. Then he married a girl where the tigers were in large population, and he killed around 29, and at last he couldn't find the 100th tiger. That was a challenge for him, and this challenge was solved by his divan, who arranged a very old tiger for him, though the Maharaja had shot the bullet, but it missed. In fear of losing the job, the hunter had killed the actual 100th tiger. Now the Tiger King wanted to spend time with his son, so he got a wooden tiger for his son, which was made by unskilled labor. The slivers pierced into his hand, causing septic, and later on he succumbed to this sliver. In the meanwhile, there were many incidents, और उनमें से एक main incident था. एक incident था, he had issued a proclamation that no one could even pelt a stone at the tiger. Second tha, a British officer had come over and he had sought permission to hunt a tiger, which was refused by the Maharaja. And to save himself and his throne, he had sent some jewels, some diamond rings to the wife of British officer. Though he lost around 3 lakh rupees, yet he was able to retain his throne. So these were some of the instances, and these can come as a question also. So that's all in this chapter, The Tiger King, written by Kalki.